So, as I said, this is game number 2 of this best of 3. Really excited to see how things are going to be going. And spawning up to the top right hand position, we have got the red Zerg player representing alternate attack, none other than Lambo. And his opponent down to the lower left, the blue Protoss player representing XMG, it is Socke. So, this is a nice little bit of fun. Socke 1-0 up in this series so far. If he wins this, he eliminates Lambo from the group and advances on into the decider game. Of course, Lambo took on Patience as his first round game. And Socke took on Showtime, both of whom did lose 2-0, which is a little bit of a shame for them. Ideally, they probably would have liked to have seen it go a little bit further, get the ace game at least. Both of them going to be trying to prove themselves here. Deadwind was the first map, and we saw a really nice little play come down from Socke. He was able to go for the Immortal Sentry play down the back route of Deadwing because of those closed spawns. Always a lot of fun. Anyway, Lambo still just busy chilling here, going for a extract trick. There was a 9-ball coming down from him, so he's looking to get aggressive. Socke, luckily for him, is busy sitting here, going for a gateway first, and it is part of a wall off. This is going to be critically important for him. 6 Zerglings are on the way across, going to be trying to get a little bit of damage down. Still waiting to see what it's going to do. 8 Lings now on their way. The gateway's still coming up. This hasn't been scouted yet, but it's about to be seen. This gives Socke a lot of time to react. He sees the Lings. This must be in line pull, and this is where he should just throw down quickly a Cybernetics core. May even just go for a complete pylon block there. Overcomes the probe. Probe, where are you going, probe? Okay, he's putting a gas first. Socke's like, no, I'm going to need that gas later. Wait for it. Any second, there's the Cyber Core. May even just go for that pylon just to make himself completely safe. At least until the Zealot's out. There is actually a gap. Is there a gap still there? Yeah, there is. Okay, just a very small gap, though. A gap for a Zealot. The Ling's coming over. It's going to be quite close to Zealot. We'll get out, though. Now I need to sit there and hold command, make sure that it's safe. And now these Lings aren't going to be able to achieve that much. A second Zealot coming through. Trying to distract attention from this Zealot. The Zealot's on a single job. Just waiting until the Lings try and come through. Oh no, the Lings get surrounded. That's a massive problem. They managed to bully their way through. That means a couple of probes are going to have to get pulled. Another pylon tries to chuck down, but it's not in time. The Lings now getting a little bit of damage to a second Zealot, getting chrono boosted. So far, no probes have died. One just falls at the moment. These Lings need to do a lot more damage though. Socke really piling on the pressure. Able to kill off most of those Lings. One very low in HP remaining. The Zealot is now out. A couple more Lings coming across the map. Meanwhile, Lambo is expanding behind this. He's starting to drone, but he's still down a long way. Down by 7 probes at this stage. And that is a long time to be down at nearly half the worker count of your opponent. Percentage-wise, it really hurts. A couple more shots coming through. Probes. Trying to deal with these Lings as they sneak on forward. Only 2 workers have died so far, but a little bit of lost mining time has been forced. Once the sentry's out, though, that's where things are going to get taken down. Still, keeping a look. That was the 3rd probe died, by the way. That's good. A few more Lings still out on the field. Only 4 remain at the moment. The Zeta chasing him back. So, okay, safe to expand at this stage because he knows his opponent has to either be going completely all in or has to be droning incredibly heavy. Waiting to see where this all goes. Waiting to see everything going on. Still keeping a check on it. We've got a 3rd hatch now coming through. I like the way, because I mentioned how hot it was. Some Americans are being like, oh, it's only like 80 degrees Fahrenheit there, and you're getting too warm. We don't get warm at that temperature. Like, that's cool for us. I bet you have air conditioning, though, in the majority of your buildings. There's only one building I go in on a daily basis that has air conditioning, and that's the gym, where I'm getting hot anyway, so we might be used to it, but we don't have the facilities to deal with it very well. Anyway, still keeping an eye on what Lambo's doing. He's getting a 3rd hatch up. It's quite delayed, and of course he's going to have to deal with this Stargate, which is most likely going to make an Oracle. Potentially it could be some Phoenix. I'd actually be a big fan if Phoenix did come out of this, because it gives you a bit more sustained harassment potential. Alternatively, Socke could go for the nothing approach. There we go. Okay, Oracle's coming out. So he's banking on the fact that his opponent won't be able to get much out in the way of queens or spore coolers by this stage, and therefore everything going hopefully his way, and he can pick off a good few drones. The downside is that the Oracle means that if spores are down, if there are a good couple of queens at each base, it's not going to be able to do very much at all. Still, keeping things going, keeping a good check. We've got one lone little zealot going on an adventure. Stalker as well on this adventure. Gonna kill off an Overlord. This Overlord really doesn't see very much. No high ground vision though at the moment. The Mothership Core is not out on the field actually. No Mothership Core has been made so far this game. That means the Overlord is going to be able to survive. Goes up on that high ground. Socke can't see up there. This poor sentry just like, where'd it go? I was just shooting at it and now it's suddenly invisible to me? Oracle though, racking up a bit of damage, gets 5 kills and stays alive. Considering the 6th, but gets very low on health, 7 HP. Backs away, but still, nice little bit of damage. Keeps the drone count that little bit lower. Still, got those 2 gateways chilling down here. We're waiting to see what else we could see. 3 additional gates coming through. Okay, so that now takes us up to 7 gates, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. 4 plus 3 is 7. My maths is good, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, waiting to see now what Lambo can do to hold this. He's adding in a couple of roaches. These are the first 6 roaches he's got out in the field, and he's got 6 lings to defend against 7 gateways worth of production. Still, nice amount of damage being done. The Queen is going to fall very quickly. Drones getting pulled. Things looking good for Socke at the moment. Showtime, though, using these drones to buffer up a bit of damage. Force fields trying to keep the roaches out of the fight for as long as possible. Trapping a couple more. Additional units being produced, though, by Socke. Reinforcing in. Things are looking very, very good. Still, the damage pushing forward. The Queen taking some more damage. The roaches hugging up on it, trying to get in the safest spot possible. Next wave of warpins should be coming shortly. Socke doesn't have enough gas to make anything other than really zealots at the moment, which against roaches wouldn't be ideal. Still, more damage being done. The Stalker's slowly pushing through. Spine Crawler is going to be spiraling up. There's a lot more roaches being produced at the moment. Lambo doing a good job of holding this off for the moment. More Stalkers coming into the reinforcements, though. They're going to have to back away. Still, Lambo producing nothing but roaches for the time being. Got a couple of additional zealots also in production. Slowly edging forward. That spine isn't going to last too much longer. Gets poked and prodded at. A Queen getting focused down as well. But while these Queens are falling, there's still 3 on the field, so can actually continue to inject all of the bases. Down goes the spine. The Stalker's still poking and prodding, but the roach numbers actually outmatching that of the Stalker. So the Stalker's having to be careful, backing away, trying to kite the roaches as best they can. Still waiting to see where Lambo decides to go. Spore Crawler is going to get taken down. Sentry falls as well, but the force fields have already been suspended. A lot of roaches at the back of this fight, and also the zealots at the front soaking up the damage out of those first few roaches. A couple of lings, but not enough to stop this hassle. Socke still pushing through. Lambo taking more and more damage. He's frantically trying to get out more lings to combat the Stalkers, but there's not many there. Socke still looking to get the damage through, still poking, still prodding. Lambo doing everything that he can. Still a few more shots coming through. The lings going to be coming into this fight, but zealots warping in to deal with those. The roach count now diminished to 0. The zealots now coming forward. Control is looking very good from Showtime at the moment. This is a prolonged engagement where literally every second counts. Every unit is vitally important, and overall, if we look at the resources lost, Lambo now just starting to fall behind, losing a couple more roaches here, there, and everywhere. The Queens being pulled over, just trying to help. Queens being produced everywhere as well. Waiting to see when and if these units go in. Lambo, of course, going to be aware of how careful he's got to be. If one roach gets trapped, and every little unit that gets picked off here is vitally important. Few Hydras are trying to sneak out onto the field as well. That's going to help massively if Lambo can buy himself enough time for that. But notice this Protoss force is getting ever larger. Still, these gateways, mass coming through. A robo being built behind this. So, Socke is preparing for a transition if it is required. He wants to try and deal more damage if possible. He's up by 3 workers at the moment. But with the roaches now coming into this mix, it is starting to look frustrating yet again. The lings trying to close up the distance towards those Stalkers, but not able to grab through them yet. The zealots doing a good job of blocking this out. A couple of transfuses coming through. One lone Hydralisk trying to help out with the damage. waiting for his buddies to come along as well. But it looks like Lambo is going to be able to hold this off for the moment. Still a lot of kiting coming through, still more time being bought, but the queens and roaches have managed to do it. But now, socke is going to be forced to retreat away. Going to be forced to play this on the safe side, and Lambo holds for the moment. Of course, Lambo's still waiting here, still checking to see anything else that could be coming through. Needs to get back to droning ASAP. He's been down on drones, a lot down on where he'd like to be in terms of the drone count for a heck of a long time. And that's really annoying for him because he needs that money, especially if he's going to find a way to contend with the War Prism harass that's going to get started shortly. Overall, the supplies are in Lambo's favor. So socke is not in an awesome position. Still, War Prism about to pop on out. Going to load up a couple more sentries. Going to probably try and drop into the main base here. Force build off that ramp and get some damage done. Got the Evo Chamber coming through. Neither player has actually signed any upgrades as of yet. Socke waiting patiently, waiting to check to see if he's getting counterattacked. He's down quite low in terms of the overall army supply at the moment. His work count is still respectable, and if we look at the incomes, despite it being 3 bases to 2, not that much of an advantage here for Lambo, although it is going to start climbing. This was a very sustained engagement coming down from socke, and therefore Lambo did very well being able to hold that off. He was literally just on the edge of all of the action. He was literally on the edge of being able to break the Zerg, but Lambo, just using the queens very effectively, was able to buy himself enough time to get out a couple of hydras and get out some more roaches. Now he's actually up on the 4 gases. He hasn't taken the 2 in the main yet. He's actually in an alright spot. He's producing a lot of roaches. He's got +1 coming through. He's going to be able to stop a lot of these zealots. It is distracting the main army though, and that's going to buy time for this War Prism to come through. Luckily, Lambo has realized that something's up. Kept a couple of roaches up here, and that's going to stop this War Prism really doing much at all. It's going to come over and realize there's a lot of units here and just decide, you know what? Can't do that. Last game we saw a little bit of harassment coming through, but no, don't want to let that War Prism in. Behind this, socke is coming for his 3rd base. He's also adding in the robotics facility, so he's going to look to tech up into Colossus. Has been seen by the Overseer. The Overseer is just chilling here. 4-man hit squad of Stalkers. Might have something to say about that, but the Overseer trying to back away, not being controlled though, is going to fall. That supply blocks Lambo. It starts up 4 Overlord, so he's going to have a 25-second supply block from this, and that's really frustrating for him. Lambo, posturing though, wants to try and prevent this 3rd base from coming down. If we look at the army supply, it's 85 to 56. +1 is active already for socke. For Lambo, it's about to kick in, but Lambo is also taking up a 4th base at the moment, and therefore, getting that 4th base down is obviously going to be a big milestone for him, especially being a gold base. Lots of damage now coming through, backing away with these Stalkers. A few Force Fields coming out. That zones out a lot of these Roaches, buying a little bit more time. The 2 Immortals going to help massively the damage, but a few Roaches have breached the natural base. A few more going to be pulling back. We've got a good engagement round by this natural base. 1 Colossus is going to get caught out of position, trying to back away quickly, get to safety. A few more Force Fields coming through, but Lambo hugging up on all these armies. Is he going to be able to deal with it quickly enough before the Immortals shred through all the Roaches? Well, those Immortals, they're dishing out a lot of damage. You've also got the Colossus up on this high ground, tearing apart the Roaches, plus the Photon Overcharge really helping. And for the moment, socke has been able to stop this push coming through. A heck of a lot of Roaches were taken down through that engagement. 12,000 resources lost to 11,000, so about 1,000 more going down for socke. Resources is one thing, units is another. A lot of Roaches have died. 60 Roaches down this game, 135 Lings. That's up against 15 Stalkers, 13 Oracles, and 54 Zealots. So overall, if we look at the gas lost, and that's actually really important to always consider, socke has lost a bit more gas overall, apparently 2,200 to 1,762. So socke really needs this 5th and 6th geyser ASAP, otherwise he's going to be running into some problems late game, especially if he wants to keep up the Colossus production, keep up the upgrades, and rebuild his sentry count, which is only at 5 for the moment. Hive has now just finished up for Lambo, so he's going to be able to get a couple of Vipers. Going to be looking to get those good abducts onto the Colossus, prevent them from just tearing apart his Roach Hydra lines from afar. If he's able to get the abducts off, that'll be really good, but that's why we're also now seeing from socke an attempt up to the Templar Archives. This isn't mainly for Storm, this is mainly for the feedback, to be able to prevent Vipers from doing too much. War Prism Going to come and drop down here. The sentry gets picked up. Goes for the force field. This is really frustrating. A second sentry on its way. There aren't very many units up here at the moment. So the main base of Lambo now getting assaulted. The sentries need to make sure they keep the force fields going. There's another one. A third sentry coming through. Of course, 4 sentries can continually keep this walled off. Good amount of damage now being done. Another sentry gets warped in. We've got a couple more zealots coming through. So while this push didn't happen immediately, coming back in later on, and it is doing a very, very good job. The hive taking a lot of damage. These sentries going to be looking to continually chip and poke and prod and keep that force field up where possible. A couple of roaches getting actually a surprising amount of damage done, but already 27 workers have been killed. That knocks Lambo down to just 48 drones compared to 52 probes. A couple of units are going to sneak through, so the Warper is going to quickly hightail it out of there with 4 of the sentries. Feeling quite confident that he's done a nice bit of damage. He's also kept the army back, so the 4th base of Lambo is going to be exposed. Dangerous times coming through. This is all looking very good, but a mass recall comes out. Good engagement there from Lambo. Need to wait and see where this goes now. Lambo going to look to try and counterattack. He's maxed out on Roach Hydra. He's got 2 Vipers, so can abduct the Colossus. There's 3 of them on the field, one of which is basically dead. How it's still standing, I will never ever know. Couple of force fields coming through. Very, very good engagement position for Lambo here. Socke having to retreat back. He's taking some damage. The Vipers looking to try and get some abducts. Are going to grab one of the Colossus. Re-grabbing the second one, but not into range of those Roaches and Hydralisks. The Immortals have got taken down, but the Colossus staying alive. One of them gets grabbed, though. That's going to fall. The Roach count is starting to dwindle, but Zocke's in a very, very bad spot. Loses his entire army. This is definitely looking to be like a GG. Lambo crushing on through. He deflected that pressure early on in just such an expert way. And there we go. He gets his reward. GG there, and Lambo levels out this series to be tied 1-1.